Okay, so when we were in D.C., when His Holiness was talking about the three kinds of understanding that derived from learning, from reflection, and from meditation, he also brought in what's called the four principles. And you may or may not remember this from his teaching. So the first principle is the nature of things. And here we understand things by knowing their nature, or knowing the reality, conventional reality of what it is. Then there's the principle of dependence. And here we examine causality. You know, things that have certain natures, then how do they arise from their effect, from their causes? And we understand the relationship between causes and conditions and the results that they bring. And that's very important to understand, you know, that comes in, I mean, the whole study of dependence is, yeah, a good chunk of it is about causality. The third principle is function, how those things that have particular natures that are produced from certain causes, how they function. You know, how do they influence other things? What results do they bring? What comes about? And then the fourth principle is using reasoning. So if you understand the first three about the nature, dependence, function, then you can use what you've gleaned from those to use reasoning to understand things that are not immediately evident, you know, that can only be understood through reasoning. So when we look at the four foundations of mindfulness, which we spent a great deal of time studying, if we look at the different meditations, you know, when you're meditating with mindfulness on the body, on the feelings, on the mind, on phenomena, a lot of the questions and topics that we're asked to investigate are what is the nature or entity of the body, the feelings, the mind, phenomena. Yeah, what do they depend on? What are the causes that make them arise? Yeah, how do they function in the world? Yeah, and from investigating these with mindfulness in our meditation, then it helps us use reasoning to understand their impermanence, their suffering or nature of dukkha, and also they're lacking a concrete self. Yeah? So if you look, sometimes you hear different teachings in different spots, but if you think about them, you can see how they come together. And, you know, this teaching on the four principles is very much related to the teachings on the four establishments of mindfulness. Yeah, which is in many ways, you know, related to the whole topic of the three kinds of understanding. Okay, so I think a lot of our understanding of Dharma topics deepens when we can see the relationship between these different factors and put them together and then really use them in our meditation.